Good afternoon, YouTube. In an earlier video I showed you where we took small polyurethane bushings like that and added a ring around them to make them larger. But one of the other things we do is we make larger bushings into smaller bushings, and to do that we have to shave some of the outer diameter off. And the reason for that is that these bushings need to fit into a steel cup on the body mount bracket. And that cup is about 55 millimeter diameter, and the bushings we have are about 62 millimeter, and you just can't get the big bushing into that cup. So what we do is we cut those down. We mount up a pair of bushings on a spindle. This is a high-speed steel threading bit, so it's just a point, because this polyurethane is really hard to cut. If you try to use something like a regular lathe bit, it won't do anything. You need the really sharp edge and a really fine point there. And let's see how that goes. Okay, there we're through. One of the problems is it doesn't do a clean cut going that direction, so now I have to feed it back the other way, and I do that by hand. You can see we cleaned up that edge, and then we get this edge here. Usually that'll come free. There we go. And then to clean it up a little bit, we run it with the file. There we go. One pair of large bushings are now, these are what we call our medium-sized bushings. So there you go, we got them cleaned up. There's the spindle, I turn them on. And we got one more set. So we go from that size to that size there. Yeah, and this is one of the applications for my bushing sleeve removal tool that I showed you in an earlier video. We turn these pair of bushings on one of the sleeves, and when you pull them apart, you've got the sleeve ends up in one of these bushings. So sometimes we need to get that out. So you can just take your tool here and push it right through. That way you get the sleeve out of the bushing, and then we assemble them with the top and bottom halves. So that's one of the cases where this bushing tool comes in really handy, and we always like to ship them to the customer fully assembled, mainly to make sure that we've got all the pieces, that we've got the top and the bottom, because these pieces here, for instance, look very similar. If you just looked at them in a bag, it would be hard to tell, especially from that side, which bushing you have. And the only way to really know that you've got all the pieces of the bushing is to put them together, and that's one bushing. And then you can tell, oh, I'm missing the bottom half of this bushing, this one's missing the sleeve and the bottom half. And that's why we always like to hand assemble every bushing kit we do, just to make sure everything's complete. Because the last thing you want to do as a customer, and I've been there myself, you got the body lifted off the frame and you're putting all the bushings in and you're missing one piece. Well, at that point you can't finish your project, and then you've got to contact the vendor, get one of these sent out. That's going to take a week to get parts. In the meantime, what do? That's our bushing kits in progress. I got to put these together and get the right number of parts. In fact, I'll show you what that looks like when I get done here. Yeah, so here we go, YouTube. We got the finished kit. We've got 4 of the larger bushings there, and then we've got 6 of the smaller, or medium size I should say, and 2 of the smaller ones. And then these are the washers that go on top like that. 2 smaller washers. We've got 10 of the larger washers. So this is our bushing kit for a FJ60 Toyota Landcruiser. They call them the 60 series, and they also work with the 61 and 62. And then there's the various letter designations. You've got the FJ60, There's the BJ60, the HJ. We vary the number of each of the various sizes to match the vehicle. This is the typical set. You get 4 large, 6 medium, 2 small. Sometimes you get 10 large and 2 small, but we've seen anywhere from 6 to 4 to 2 of the mediums, and anywhere from 4 up to 10 of the large. Sometimes you have 2 smalls, sometimes there's 4. We custom build these for each vehicle and have the customer check which exact size he needs. Like I say, this is our generic kit. It fits most every vehicle. We've only run into, I think, one vehicle that needed something that this wouldn't work with in about 15 years. If you can get underneath and measure the sizes of the bushings that are on your vehicle, we can build you a custom kit. If you need 2 of these, if you need 4, if you need 6, let us know how many. And that's our FJ60 body mount bushing kit, and I think we're the only company around that makes these, and we make them custom built to your specifications. We really encourage you, if you need a set of these, check the diameters of the bushings on your vehicle, and we'll put together a kit for you. And we can also supply new body mount bolts. So this customer's order will have a set of 12 bolts as well. So he's going to replace all the rubber bushings and all the factory bolts, and you'll have a vehicle like new. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you our bushing kit. So again, this is for a Toyota FJ60 Landcruiser, and these work with the 60, 61, and 62 series, and they're all different. So we always get people asking us, they just want a kit, and they're all different. If at all possible, check your bushings on your vehicle. Sometimes people have already thrown them away, and in that case we have this generic or typical kit that fits most every vehicle. It may not be ideal, but it should fit. This is really good for people that are doing off-roading, because the poly bushings tend to hold up better off-road than the original factory rubber bushings, especially when the factory rubber gets all cracked and brittle and starts falling apart. If you have any questions about that, you can post up in the comment section below there, or I'll put a link to our webpage with the information, contact information and all that, and we can get you a quote on a set of bushings for your vehicle. As always, thanks for watching.